You love technology. You bought the smartphone, the smartwatch, the smart speaker, the smart thermostat, the smart toothbrush, apps for banking, dating, mapping, eating, exercising, sleeping, meditating, even breathing. And you upgrade every year, chasing the better camera, the faster processor, the brighter screen. And here's the paradox that will make you want to smash your devices into 1,000 pieces. The more technology you adopt, the less control you have over your own attention. The more connected you are, the more disconnected you feel. The more information you can access, the less you actually know, because technology does not serve you. You serve it. The device in your pocket is not a tool. It's a slot machine designed by the smartest engineers in the world to keep you pulling the lever. Every notification, a tiny demand. Look at me. Now, you might be missing something, and you obey. You check your phone 70 times a day. Interrupt your own thoughts, your conversations, your work, your sleep, trading your attention for convenience, and attention is the only thing that adds up to a life. The data is terrifying. The average American touches their phone over 2,000 times a day, spends nearly 5 hours staring at it, a third of waking life, and heavy phone use correlates with lower empathy, poorer memory, higher anxiety and depression, not because phones are evil, but because every glance at a screen is a glance away from the person in front of you, and relationships are built on presence, the very thing your phone steals, and the neuroscience is diabolical. Your brain's dopamine system is no match for variable rewards, a like or a message giving a tiny hit whose timing you can't predict, the exact mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. And the engineers who built your operating system studied this, built it to exploit your brain's vulnerabilities. You are not weak. You are up against a multi-trillion-dollar industry whose business model depends on your distraction. The American twist is that we've turned this addiction into a virtue, always on, connected, responsive. If you don't answer within an hour, you're slacking. If you turn off notifications, you're letting the team down. A culture where constant availability is expected, constant distraction is normal, and constant overwhelm is just Tuesday, a mass psychological experiment with no informed consent. But here's the reversal that only fully settles when you stop scrolling long enough to feel the quiet horror of your own complicity. The happiest, most focused Americans are not the ones with the latest gadgets. They're the ones who learn to use technology like a tool, not a master. Turning off notifications, leaving the phone in another room, carving out offline hours, understanding that every ping is a request for your attention, and you are allowed to say no, not sometimes, but most of the time. And that deep work, real conversation, uninterrupted play, long walks without a soundtrack, cannot coexist with checking email. Let me tell you about Priya, a marketing executive with 3 phones and 6 email accounts and a calendar like a Jackson Pollock painting, answering messages while driving, eating, peeing, talking to her daughter, and her daughter started acting out, and a therapist asked the girl what was wrong, and she said, "My mum loves her phone more than me." And Priya was devastated. So she tried an experiment. No phone between 6 and 8 p.m., just dinner and family, and the first week she went through withdrawal, sweaty and irritable and convinced she was missing a crisis. No crisis came. By week 3, her daughter started talking again. By week 6, Priya realized nothing in her email had ever been as urgent as her daughter's voice, and she didn't quit technology, she just stopped letting it quit her, leaving her phone in a drawer during meals and meetings and bedtime, and her productivity went up because focused work is faster than interrupted work. Her relationships healed. She still checks Instagram just on her own terms, not the phone's. The American cognitive paradox sits right here. We have the most powerful technology in history, and it has made us weaker, because power is not about what you can do. It's about what you choose not to do. And the only escape is to learn to turn it off, not forever, but enough to remember what silence sounds like, what eye contact feels like, what boredom gives birth to, understanding that the greatest technological advance would be an off switch you actually use. Right now, your brain wants to argue you need your phone for work, for family, for safety, and you do. But do you need it in the bathroom, at dinner, during the 5 minutes between meetings, the second you wake up? The second before you sleep? The question is not whether to use technology, it's who is using whom. The question from the beginning, why does the fastest adoption of technology leave us more overwhelmed, has an answer that only a second viewing fully unpacks. Technology is not the problem. The problem is we forgot we can say no. The off button is the most powerful feature you never use. So if something in you just exhaled, if the impulse sparks to send this to someone who texts you while you're talking to them, that's not about me. It's the recognition that their notifications are not emergencies, they're addictions. And sharing that might be the first real upgrade you've made in years. Now go put your phone in another room for 1 hour. That's an order.